Hey everybody, we live? Let us know. Let me know in chat if we're live.
We are live.
Give us the code word.
0 viewers.
Appendix.
Well, you have to give the link to
You have
Patreon.
to give them the link.
I did.
In Patreon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Who's
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're live, baby.
Cat.
We're live.
Yeah.
We are so live.
Chat.
Nobody's chatting, but I see us live.
Good.
I have
Good,
visual
you're
on us being live.
Cool.
13 viewers. Lucky number.
Cool. All right, and now I see people in chat saying live. So there's just a huge delay on YouTube. Cool.
So, let's start out. This Justice League trailer. No, I'm kidding.
Good. I haven't seen it yet. Don't say anything.
Yeah, neither have I.
Ugh.
It's
Brett, all I have to say is Beatles cover.
What?
Yep.
What? Why?
Unacceptable.
Why?
Unacceptable.
That's a bad
Come on,
sign.
man.
That's a bad
Don't
sign.
do that.
Lowering the bar already.
It's like you're taking something and you're making it worse automatically.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh, cool. I can pop out chat now.
It's all
Pop
about
out chat.
tone. And
All
the
right,
selection too is like, oh, did that take you all of 3 seconds to come up with that? Like,
Yeah.
Should I untangle these, or should we just roll?
No,
forward?
keep them.
It's
Keep them
bothering
goofy.
me. It's really bothering me.
Oh, it's bothering you. I'm gonna
Mike's
take it.
Please
freaking out.
untangle him, yeah.
All right. So
Bothering you as
First
much
thing
as
I
the table.
noticed.
sorry, Huber, dude. Huber, I'm sorry. This was. Oh my goodness. Jones, how you doing, dude?
excellent. I just think, it's like, they're like, okay, so Justice League trailer 2. We're really excited. What band should we use? Like some guy's like, the Beatles? Like, Beatles. Jim, I like it. Because the
the
Justice
rights
League is
are
the
really
Beatles of comic
expensive.
books, right? Like, yeah.
Jones, here's the thing, though: is trailers are made by creatives. They're made by creative people, and I have to assume that it was chosen with the best intentions.
Oh, sure. That's the thing. Yeah, I'm not mad at anyone. It's just I'm disappointed. That tends to cut more.
Sure.
I'm mad.
Upset. All right.
I'm mad.
Fellow
what are we doing?
allies, shall we begin the Q&A of March?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Our
Make it
first
so.
question comes to us from Ibrahim Sozer.
Mm,
Don't forget to ask who asked the first question. It was you, Ibrahim.
that's Evo show.
Greetings from Patreon. Yeah. Loved the in-depth response to my previous question. Nintendo is the greatest toy company of all time. My question is for the Dragon Ball Super fan. I assume that's me. Who will be in the Battle of the Bands 2017 for Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft? And what's their role in the band? Okay. All right. So that we can make this a group question. Who represents each company? Right. When I did
of us?
no, when I did Battle of the Bands for Final Bosman, I made a band out of Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft.
Phil Spencer usually is Microsoft, right?
Yeah, he's absolutely lead singer of that band.
Yoshida maybe for Sony.
Mhm.
Reggie?
Though I mean, so yeah,
Reggie on like tambourine, but it's like a weird tambourine that doesn't do what a tambourine is supposed to do because you can't like transfer the jingly jangles from a different tambourine. Yeah, or a triangle maybe. Yeah.
I kind of hear you there because I do feel like Reggie doesn't get to make a lot of decisions. A lot of them just come from Nintendo of Japan, and Reggie just repurposes them for an American audience.
Has
And
to
so-
be enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, I
Tambourine
get that.
player.
Yeah, he can have the tambourine. It's fair.
Reggie's definitely percussion. I imagine Reggie hitting things a lot. Like
Mhm.
that's like the Wii drums guy.
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing, though: is I want Andrew House to be the lead singer of Sony.
Okay.
Sure. I want Gio Corsi on bass.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jones.
Nice.
A little funky beat dropping
Yeah.
from Gio. What else we got?
Another thing is, what kind of bands are they?
I want Yu Suzuki singing for Sony.
He's
Like
not singing
backup
for-
singer?
Maybe
Yeah.
as like a guest. Maybe he's doing guest vocals.
Yeah, like one song.
but they don't know.
I feel like they'd be like hair metal.
Yes.
I think Nintendo should be very electronic, like very synth, very like, I don't know. I imagine lots of like pew 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 kind of sounds coming out of like. the
I mean,
Nintendo
yeah, you
one.
could do a chip tune like
No, I think Nintendo
Using
would be
Game Boy.
reggae.
Nintendo. Reggae. That makes a weird amount of sense.
It's official.
I mean,
All right, our next question comes to us from Censor Eric. Greetings from Beantown, USA, which is Boston, right, Jones?
Yeah.
Hello, allies. Sometimes I like to daydream, and I've discovered an infinite money trick IRL, and I can help out everyone I care about. Jones, is everything okay over there?
That's my house.
That's not me.
Oh, Huber, you got the ambulance today.
Whoa.
After they're all set, I decide to do something for myself, which is to fund another of my daydreams. An Easy A heist movie similar to Ocean's 11.
Oh.
I'd only have
love it.
two
Oh my God.
caveats.
Yes.
Ian must create and perform the entire soundtrack. And
Okay.
Kurt Russell must have a prominent role.
He's the villain.
That said, I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts on what their character would be like. I'm picturing Jones in a role like Linus, who is Matt Damon's character, but it's totally up to you all. Also, imagine you'd have an endless supply of money and every actor in the world at your disposal with much love and respect. Censor Eric. Okay, go ahead, Ian. I heard you.
What were you saying, Jones? You can go.
Why would I be Linus? I'm the oldest of the group. I'd probably be Danny, right? I'd imagine Huber
I
would
know
be
that
Linus.
you want to be Danny.
It's not about age, Jones. I'm George Clooney.
Okay.
We don't have a George Clooney.
We don't have a George
No,
Clooney.
Ian's Brad Pitt.
I accept.
I want to be Matt Damon because I love Matt Damon.
Because of like just the aloofness, you know, like Brad Pitt's the one that like, you know, I just think he's cool as ice. So I don't know.
The best thing in the world about that first movie is when they're fighting and then you learn that that wasn't a real fight at all.
Right. Yeah. So good.
Or Don could be Brad Pitt.
We would have 5 of those moments.
Now Don's got to be like some mysterious, like, just like fixer guy.
Yeah. we don't
Don's
have
like, Don's, I can't remember the actor's name. He's got the cigar and the glasses. He's hosted Saturday Night Live like 8 times. No, he's a
Michael
classic
Caine.
old.
The old
Michael
guy.
Caine is none of those
Not
movies.
in that movie.
Max von Sydow.
He's not Carl Reiner, but he's
Casey
Yeah.
Affleck.
the guy who does all the deals. He's always smoking a
Casey
cigar.
Affleck, yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 old
What is that?
guys,
He's a
yeah.
famous Broadway actor. What is that actor's name? Talk amongst yourselves. What is his name?
Gene Shalit.
Gould. Gould? No, Gould. Something Gould.
Yeah, Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould.
There we go.
Ugh. There.
So wait, is it what role
No.
will you do? In the
So
heist?
I think Jones is looking at this the wrong way.
That's done.
This movie's about us. It's not exactly Ocean's 11, but we are the people inside of Ocean's 11.
Correct, but Ocean's 11, that dynamic worked. You know, it's like you don't want to bring in 9 people all doing the same job. We don't have to do different things.
Okay, I hear you, Jones.
I got a lot
And
of
so-
dreams.
And so, yeah, so Brad Pitt was the talker. So like Ian would be the talker. Like Ian would be the person we'd come in to schmooze somebody to calm them down, you know, and like Huber's the idea man. Huber's the energy. Huber's like going actually in with the tools and like doing things, lifting things, climbing through air ducts.
I just want to be the wheelman.
Oh, but those guys with the bombs, wouldn't that be Huber?
Brad and Huber, that could be funny.
Well, here's the thing. I think the plot is just that we want to hang out in Kurt Russell's pool. And so this whole movie is not a heist. We're not trying to steal anything. It's us trying to hang out at Kurt Russell's pool.
Trying to figure out when he's gone long enough that we can get in, change, get in the pool, get out, dry off, get our stuff, and leave.
And Kurt
Take out the
Russell's Kurt Russell is the villain, but only because he's just trying to have a normal life and like going about his business, and we keep so we're like the bad guys, really.
Right. So is Kurt Russell playing a character that we are trying to get in his pool, or are we literally getting in Kurt Russell's pool?
He's playing a hyper-realized version.
Because then Goldie Hawn's got to be in it too.
Great.
Oh yeah.
There's a scene where Damiani disguises himself as Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
He has to pretend like he's having a conversation with Kurt Russell and he's like sweating, and we're feeding him information about Goldie Hawn in his ear.
But if
Constant references to the movie Overboard.
Yeah. But if we were going to shoot this movie, I would have like one shot of Damiani with the wig like slightly off. And Bosman's like, can you fix that? And he fixes it, and it cuts back, and it's Goldie Hawn. And you're like, that's better. And then she does the whole rest of the movie, but it's Damiani's voice, like every time she talks, like not even trying. You know, like maybe like a slight like female affectation, but
that's a good movie. Our next question, hey allies.
For the record, I love heist movies. They're like, oh man, my favorite. I love. I might one day see Now You Can't See Me too, or now you don't see me. Or what's
I see me now you don't.
Now You See Me. Yeah, I was tempted to watch the sequel of that film. That's how much I love those movies.
Come on, Jones.
Second one's not
Tempted.
that
It's not the
good.
first one.
If I'm being
Harry
honest
Potter's
with
in
you
it.
all right now, I think I could write a script about a heist movie in which people just want to hang out in a pool, and I think you could sell that script.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
That's a really honestly.
Let's
all right,
do
so
That's how treatment
Easy.
going.
Easy Allies presents.
next question. Hey, allies, what is all of your favorite bands? What are your favorite bands that most people wouldn't think you're into? And what is the best song ever written, in your opinion, Eleanor Swaggerty?
Oh my gosh. It went from 8
Best
to
song
hard.
ever written. Day in the Life by the Beatles, co-written by Paul McCartney and John Lennon.
The Beatles, Jones, such an easy choice.
Just for the song, for the band, I'm not doing
It's the
Beatles.
right choice, though.
Yeah, it's like it's a easy choice, but it's like one of, if not the best choice.
I love you, Brad.
I think
Good band.
I may have had to have answered this before, because I got mine locked and loaded.
Yeah, I've got mine too.
Toad the Wet Sprocket.
What?
Toad the Wet Sprocket hype.
What is that?
Just thinking of a band.
It's a band.
It's a band.
Sing a song from Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Come on, Bosman.
I can't
Sing it.
actually.
I've never heard of that before.
I like They Might Be Giants more than Toad the Wet Sprocket, so I'll do They Might Be Giants.
Okay. Favorite band? Yeah, yeah, yeahs. Favorite song? Best song ever written? Let Down. Ian.
Tom Waits.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite song, though, well, the song that I think is the best ever written.
Best song ever written.
Maybe "Werewolves of London" by Warren Zevon.
A really cool pick.
Nice.
And then there was a third thing. What was the third thing?
Well, the second one was the band that
that
you
you're-
don't think people know you're into.
Oh. I mean, all of them. Agnes Obel, Dawn of Midi.
We would think that about you. What would surprise us to learn that you're into?
Come back.
Any
to me on
Weird
that
Al
one.
Yankovic in there, Ian? Any
Papa
Weird Al-
Roach.
Come back to me. Come back to me on
Papa
that.
Roach.
I remember Ian talking about that.
Yeah.
What?
Papa
Papa
Roach.
Roach.
But you like them so
Oh,
much.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, is that real, or are we doing memes?
Dude,
No,
100% real.
Oh, Hubert. This is something I didn't want to know about Hubert.
What did Hubert say?
Papa Roach, dude.
Hubert, no.
While I don't support, hey, Hubert, I'll take a hit. While I don't support their entire catalog, I do enjoy Green Day. There are several Green Day songs I enjoy a lot. So
On my own.
that's a band I see getting.
Yeah.
I see Green Day getting picked on a lot, and I like it.
For real, Neil Young and Van Morrison are my all-time favorites.
There you go. I didn't know about Neil Young, Hubert. That's awesome.
Okay, I hear some holdouts. The rest of you not have answers.
I have answers.
Go ahead. Get in there.
Favorite band? Black Sabbath. Slash Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd say Black Mages.
You already answered the second question. I would have not predicted that, Damiani.
Okay, then okay, that's cool. Song? If I'm sticking with Black Sabbath, probably War Pigs. I think it's their best song. I vote, but in general, I've always been particular to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to Wayne's World.
One of the greats.
That might legitimately be one of the best songs ever written.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what-
absolutely.
Just
Since
it's
Wayne's
just like,
World, Damiani?
what's up?
Wayne's World or before Wayne's World?
No, I only heard of it in Wayne's World, and then I kept like listening to it. I was like, this is such a good song, and I was like, it's so different. I like it.
I'll go. I have a bunch of. I don't have favorite bands, but one of my favorites is AFI, and I would say one of my favorite songs. I think it's like perfectly written. Is "Wouldn't It Be Nice" by the Beach Boys.
Yeah. There's a lot of easy allies in that song.
And then did blood go?
My favorite band's Easy. That's
It's easy. You went dark.
very few people will know.
It's easy.
Wait, we missed it, Blood.
What
Yeah,
was
we
it?
cut out
What?
for a sec.
Stave Zaker.
Okay.
Ooh.
New album coming this year, which is crazy because it's been 10 years or something since they did an album.
That's always nice.
But song is the one I'm blanking on, and then also so many.
Oh.
We're losing.
Robot.
I am Iron Man.
Really?
Oh yeah, Blood. You disappeared there.
Bloodbot. You might have to pull the chute and log back in.
Hello.
Blood, we can't see you, dude. You're gone.
Gone?
You're gone.
Really?
Yeah.
You're dead.
We're losing him.
My favorite song is "Last Resort" from Papa Roach.
I'm so mad. We're moving on.
Wait, I came up with my artist that you wouldn't think I was into.
Cool.
Ray Lynch from the 80s. He's like a easy listening synth musician. It's great.
I bet there's a lot of people Googling Ray Lynch now.
I love Ray Lynch.
Double Bloods.
Deep Breakfast, dude.
Whoa, I see 2 blood words.
I know, I said double
I see
Bloods.
another one of myself there, like
already. It's freaking me out.
All right, Good Blood. Tell us your favorite band, your least likely band. And
Shadowclone Jutsu, dude.
favorite band is Stavesacre for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The song I don't know. Least likely that people would guess. I don't know, like Imogen Heap or something.
Ooh, yeah, Blood, nice. And Blood, your connection is much better now. Thank you.
Weird.
What is that? A Alan Wake art book back there?
That is an Alan Wake faceplate on my 360. Which I got randomly. I don't even know why I got it, and I liked it just the way it looked, so I put it on my 360 like 2 or 3 years before I played Alan Wake.
Awesome.
It's just some man's name. All right, next question. Hey, allies. I was wondering, how do you guys manage your time around all the content and live streams that you do? Do you place calendar notifications, or do you guys have a group chat where you do decide your daily activities? Much LNR. Al Suwaidi.
Yes to all.
Bloodworth.
Yeah. Huber, we have to tell what to do.
Yeah, we should talk about Slack, which is really good for group communication. Is Slack free?
Slack.
That's my first question.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can pay. There's a pay version that gives you more space and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think conference calling with each other or whatever. But
I'm surprised Slack doesn't have a calendar. Seems a little weird.
Yeah, Slack can
maybe
be
the pay version does. I don't know.
To tie the things you're saying to when you're doing it.
I think you can.
Oh no, Robot Blood is back.
Blood.
I think you can link it to Google
You got a double
Calendar,
blood
maybe.
again.
So yeah, that's what we do is on Slack, Blood will say, hey, everybody, what are you streaming this week? And then we all respond to that. Then Damiani and Blood take that information. Damiani puts it on Twitch. Blood puts it on the schedule on easyallies.com and also on the Google Calendar. And that's pretty much it. We just don't step on each other's toes. We kind of have regulated times of who will stream what. But also, if we want to stream something random, we just say, hey, guys, is it cool if I stream right now?
Yep.
And when we want to film something too, we try to plan it around the group stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that are shot before or after group stream where it's we're going to do a random video. Who wants to do this?
Yep. And so if you have a big group who needs to communicate, I highly recommend Slack. It's been good for us.
We have 24 different channels in Slack, so we talk about things in different subjects too.
Yeah.
So that's helpful.
Random is my favorite place to hang out.
Any better.
The only place that you hang out.
Yeah. You want to get a hold of Huber, random's where to go.
You post business stuff in Random all the time, which is not what Random is for, Huber.
Our next question.
But the best is when you ask Huber, and I'm guilty of this as well, when you ask Huber a specific question in one channel, and he'll just drop a link to something in Random and then take off. And you're like, Huber,
Huber, there have been many times when Huber's been active in Random, still posting things, and I've asked him a direct question in another channel, and he just refuses to answer it.
All right, no need to air any dirty laundry right now. We're all right.
It's not dirty laundry, it's just laundry.
Yep.
Oh, there's Bendy.
All hail the Council of the Nine and the great work that you provide us. I personally feel like the video game development cycle would be a fascinating process to witness, from the conception of ideas and evolving into a fully realized piece of software for millions to enjoy. So my question is this: if you could have been a part of the development team of just 2 games from the past, which options would you choose? What would you be
Really
most
good
interested
question.
to learn from the experience, and would you be confident in making any personal changes, if any, to any of the games? From a forever loyal ally till the end, Christian Thomas. P.S. Please ask Blood if he still practices being a Jedi on the beach these days. Let's get out of the way now, Blood. Do you still practice being a Jedi on the beach?
That was like a one-time like leadership event thing.
So yes.
no.
So he's falling out of training. Okay.
I think there is a group. I think at least one group in San Francisco that does Jedi training. Like you can go with them and they'll give you your lightsaber and they'll like legitimately, very seriously, like practice
Is
fighting
that like the
routines.
501st, or what is that?
No, I can't remember what it's called. But, like I remember seeing a poster for it. I don't know if they're still in operation, but I mean, there's only one answer: Metal Gear Solid 5. That's it. Done. Finished.
Ooh, yeah.
I got
Jones,
one.
because you have to be on the team. And by the way, I think we should only do one just so we can move through the question.
I got one.
But Jones, you have to be on that team, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
You want to be on that team?
You wouldn't learn more. I mean, like that's the most horrible parts of your life is when you learn the most. So if you're going to try to get the most out of just one experience, it's like, I mean, it's a Japanese company. It's all the stuff that went down. It's following this iconic person as he's, trying to build this, trying to achieve his goals and achieving some and not achieving others. It's the end of the franchise. I mean, that book, I will read that cover to cover 5 times whenever that comes out. That Keeley book.
Jones, that's a very thoughtful answer. I like that.
I don't want to be on the Last Guardian team.
Nice.
Just see the development of that whole game. How long did that game take to make? Like 8 years or something like that?
9 or
There's some
10.
downtime.
Steady paycheck. Also. Those years.
I can go. I'd really like to be on that Super Mario Brothers 3 team. I think this is a really exciting time. It's you're bounded by the limitations of the console in a way that's like, I have an idea. Can we get this to work on this machine? And at that time, the answer was yes to most of them. And so I think that'd be a really cool time. That weird part of the question where do I feel confident making any changes? Absolutely not. And on that team, I would not pipe up once. I would do my job, type it out, draw things, but I would not make any changes.
I want to be on the knack team. I want to see.
I want to hear you defend this.
You're just all memes today.
I want to see how serious everyone took their job, and like I want to see the creative process of knack for real, like inside the heart and soul of Cerny. When they I want to see if it came from a good place. I want to see if they just cranked it out, and if they were like, oh, it's good enough. I want to see the effort involved in making knack.
I can guarantee it came from a good place.
Yeah,
it's also the development.
I would use that to defend knack haters. Came from a good place.
Nice.
Well, it's still still a 5 though, even if it came from a good place.
There's so many Square Enix games I'd love to, but I'm going to pick Ocarina of Time.
Nice pick. Yeah.
I just want to see the early development days of that because not enough of that is known. And and obviously I wouldn't try and change a thing because, not even remotely qualified.
Damiani, those shots of the woods, the early screenshots, dude.
Oh, yeah.
When it was called Zelda 64 and all that, I just want to see all that stuff. You know how we get like, sometimes we used to get like games early enough that'd be like earlier builds and they would tell us to destroy those copies because sometimes I had stuff that didn't make in the final game. I would give like anything to go back to the 90s and be in the position we were in game trailers and get those early access to like those N64 games and stuff. And just see all the stuff that didn't make it into the game. Oh,
where Link actually gets the Triforce in it.
Yeah, there you go.
In there. Blood. One of my favorite parts of the old GT library was the box of smashed up DVDs.
Right.
I never played these.
I have a big folder of stuff that needs to be smashed.
Don't smash them.
We couldn't even play. We don't have the equipment to play.
But people out there would love those, Blood.
Yeah, but we can't do that.
That'd be a bad move.
Okay.
I'd want to be on the writing team for Bloodborne.
Whoa, the writing team.
The Bloodborne series.
That's a one-man job only.
I don't know. I think they have a team of people with the lore.
Yeah, is it a one-man job, Brad?
Well, he writes most of everything, pretty much.
He being Miyazaki.
Yep.
Whoa.
Who else?
Just helping the audience.
He doesn't need anyone else.
By the way, are you checking chat? Is chat okay?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay.
It's funny because Damiani went there as well, but I'm gonna go with Majora's. I think it'd be really interesting to see how they just like, let's take all this stuff that we already have and make it feel completely bonkers, and implement all these other systems in almost no time whatsoever.
Yeah, because I think that'd be the frustrating part of Ocarina is actually trying to figure stuff out, and the frustrating elements of, oh, this isn't fun, or how do I lock on, like the technical stuff, and the technical stuff is sorted by Majora's Mask. Cool.
I've always thought those two games were like both sides of the same coin. Or I'm sorry, opposite sides of the same coin. Because it seemed like everything that made Ocarina special, that Majora's Mask, like, we're gonna do it different and in an amazing way. I love Majora's Mask so much.
Reused assets.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cleverly so.
What?
I just thought of a better one, but
Quick.
Metroid Prime.
Ooh.
Oh,
That went through a lot of craziness in the early days.
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be a very fun thing to work on.
Like
Logan,
completely third
Texas.
person and stuff.
Yeah. Those faxes from Miyamoto. Our next question comes to us from Rebecca Blackmore. Hey, lovelies. Have you ever had the urge to play games from when you were younger, but are scared about how they hold up? For some reason, I've had the urge lately to track down Hogs of War for PS1, but I don't want my opinion on that game to sully, just in case it's not as spectacular as I remember. Happy first birthday, love and respect. Kiss, kiss. It's XX, but I assume those are kisses.
That's right.
On the list.
This is something I talked about on a podcast I was on, where games that you constantly think about and want to go back and play, but you kind of know that you never will. Like for me, it was Dragon's Dogma.
Sure.
That was less because I was afraid that it would not be good, but also just because I don't want to redo all the bad parts. But yeah, like, this is a real question. Like,
I don't think I have one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I spend so much time going back and playing old stuff.
So, Jones, what about GoldenEye?
I play it all the time.
Baby.
Holds up.
Holds up. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Bosman.
Yes, it does, Kyle.
Bosman,
How dare you, Kyle,
if
you
you
have
were to
like
plug in-
no experience with it.
Hold on. Wait. You have to define what holds up mean. Does GoldenEye hold up to Call of Duty Infinite Warfare? No, it's not a competition. Like,
yes, it's much better.
It's a longer game to play. There's more modes and stuff like that. So if that's what you mean by holds up, that if you were to take like random dude off the street and show them both games, which one would they enjoy more? But like, if you were to plug in GoldenEye 007 right now, I would play through the campaign smiling the entire time. I would love absolutely every single minute of it.
And I will duel anyone.
So to me, that holds up.
Yep.
I want to try multiplayer though, because he will beat me and that'll make me sad.
Because Jones, when we play, it takes me back to that time. It takes me back to my childhood. It still feels good. I feel like I'm being transported back in time.
I'm visiting those places.
Honestly, I have a hard time answering this one too. I think most of the games that I did love, I go back and still love anyway. It's a very rare thing where I go back to a game and play it and say, this sucks. Most of the games I loved, I can still learn to love today.
But
Can you remember the last time you did it? Did that, Kyle? Where you like love a game and you went back, you're like, man, this sucks.
No, I can't though. I can when I tried playing my PS1 disc of Parappa the Rapper, I've died on levels, and that's gonna be kind of embarrassing. But
I got a tough one for you, Brad.
oh,
Let's hear it.
Kingdom Hearts 1, dude.
It
It does not hold up.
Well, for me, Huber, if I go back and play it, I can play through the whole thing, so it does hold up for me.
All right.
But I don't know. For like, there's definitely problems with it. For me, I can like measure it. Like holds up to an extent, you know. Like, what does hold up mean? Is it still incredible when you play it today, or is it still like good?
is it still incredible? Because I think that's where the question
broad
comes from.
spectrum saying it holds up or not.
Because you
But
have
that's not that
memories of it
compelling of
being
a story.
incredible.
What you want is the person to go back and play the game they love and then just like be crying. It's like, this game sucks, you know. So I think that, you know, Brad going back and playing the game that he loves and will still accept that where it belongs to the franchise and understand the limitations it has. It doesn't ring as much, I think.
I think I actually find sometimes it's the opposite. that like you think this game, like I liked it back in the day, but it's probably garbage now. And then you go back and you play, it's like, oh, this is still fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I think like something like Kabuki Quantum Fighter comes to mind. Like that's pretty average NES game. But man, you go back to it, it's like, man, like the music in this and the speed and enemies, like, yeah, this is fun. It's a good afternoon.
That's really interesting.
I suspect that this would happen to me with like some of those early PlayStation 1 RPGs that are really long, like Vandal Hearts or one of those where like back in the day I loved them, but like now I would just be kind of like, all right, I don't have the time for this, you know?
Yeah.
But that's more of like a me. I don't hold up. Maybe the game is fine. I don't know.
One that's a little tough to go back to is NES Metal Gear.
I actually have one.
Ooh.
Body Harvest.
Good.
Oh yeah.
Loved that game growing up as a kid. Absolutely loved it.
Nice.
Played it a few years ago, I think, for GT Capture. And it does not hold up. It is
a rough game.
It is
I
rough.
thought it was rough when it was out, but yeah.
Hubert, I want to see if Turok 2 holds up for you.
Oh,
Me
I
too.
played it recently, not the new PC one.
Mm-hmm.
But we played for when did we play?
Probably not that recent then.
Within the last like 4 or so years though. And
Okay.
still loved it.
Okay.
Damian, you got a
Some of
quick
those-
one before we move on.
I mean, you made me think of one. Like Huber, when you answered that original Turok for me, I had to play it like 2 or 3 years ago, and
No.
it was like one of the first
Dude, it still
third-party
feels good.
N64 games I had, and I was like, this game is amazing. I
Yeah.
used to play that game so much, and no, like I went back and replayed it. That's why I was so excited about the HD versions, where they're like, oh, maybe I'll make it like I remembered it, this version well, but the OG version, I was just like, man,
The
wow,
draw distance.
times have changed. The fog.
That's an ugly game.
It's
such an ugly
immersive
game.
fog. It's
The
supposed to really
platforming.
draw you into the game. The platforming too.
Our next question comes to us from Michael Agnell. Hello, Easy Allies. I miss Solstice and Little Nemo, the Dream Master for NES, and Equinox Solstice 2 for Super Nintendo. I wonder if Easy Allies do that as well. I missed one of those games and never heard of the other two. Where does everyone else stand?
I
Don't
am
know any.
vaguely familiar with Solstice and Equinox, but I haven't played them.
I remember
What are they?
Little Nemo.
What are the
Um,
Solstice games?
If I remember right, it was like isometric, like adventure kind of game.
Oh, cool. Little Nemo, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sick game.
Do you remember the movie, Kyle?
Yeah, barely, dude. Rough memories of it.
Yeah. It's got like
Cloudy memory.
the clown sidekick with the cigar.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I never watched it.
Sorry, Michael. It looks like you don't have compassionate, like-minded people with you there.
Little Nemo, but see, I haven't played Little Nemo since back then. Like
It's such a
mid '90s.
It's fun to transform. It's really fun to transform, especially on an NES. Getting cool costumes, like
Yeah.
getting abilities, stuff like that is so
Yeah,
fun.
he throws candy, right? Is that how
Yeah.
he attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Super hard though.
Yeah.
Super hard. One of those games.
One of those great
Okay.
Capcom games.
Next question comes to us from Alexander Zernyov. Jones, I always struggle with this one.
Zirnov?
Zernov. Okay, cool. It's
Zernov.
as simple as that. It's nice and smooth. Greetings from Russia. This is a continuation of my last month's question. Several days have passed since you moved into the medieval castle. This was a fun question, by the way. I really
I
like
love this one. Yeah.
Yes.
You have gathered in the dining room to eat some pizza and to share your stories.
Pizza
Hubert
Cat.
screams about bear footprints he saw near the river. Jones tells about a spot in the hills from which the castle looks very similar to Disney's logo. Brad responds with time of day when shadow from the main gates has the shape of the Millennium Falcon. Blood is really happy that all publishers have no problem sending review copies to the new headquarters and that he can easily join everyone's stream. Kyle notices some Tetris-shaped bricks in the wall and feels happy that they didn't form a line. Ben speaks about many great games he rediscovered because he finally put all his treasures on shelves without stacking. Damiani is certain that there is a secret passage in the dungeon because its layout is similar to one of Zelda's dungeons. And Ian doesn't pay much attention to the others because he really enjoys enjoys the room's acoustics. But after all talks and pizza, one very important question remains. Where is Don? Ooh, this was a mystery.
Dawn is off like hunting the bear.
Don is hunting the bear?
Or like hunting for us, or like
Don. Yeah.
I think, or like parlaying with like the next town over.
I think that Don had prior knowledge of this castle and knows its dark past, and is he's phased through the secret dimensional gate in the basement to make sure that all of the rest of us will remain safe in this castle. He's like having a meeting with the forces, of evil to keep them at bay or something.
Striking deals.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's the watcher.
Yeah. He's the one. Yeah, he's protecting all of us, and none of us ever know.
Don is finishing up the jousting range outside of the castle.
Yes.
Nice.
He's doing all of these things, I think, simultaneously.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. What a fun visualization. I'm totally into
I
that.
love that, Alexander. Thank you.
If you want to continue that next month, please. Okay, next question from Caesar Villa. Hello, allies. First of all, congratulations on the anniversary. It's a joy to be part of this community and to be able to do a contribution as small as it is to you guys directly. Let me stop right there. If you are in this tier of $20 a month, that is not a small contribution.
$20 is not small.
Yeah.
That's a
We thank you.
$20 bill. It's amazing.
Getting to ask silly questions is a bonus. The following inquiry is directed to anyone with a piece of the Triforce in their heart. I started playing Majora's Mask about a year ago. I played for about 3 or 4 cycles, and then life got in the way of my gaming, and I haven't picked it up since. I plan to give it some time now. I want to beat every Zelda game before I play Breath of the Wild. My question to the panel is it worth it to start a new file and play from the beginning? Given the time cycle mechanic of the game, I'm not sure if it is necessary to start over again. Love and respect. Caesar.
Well, the first cycle's pretty much just like you have to do the first cycle. It's to get out of Deku Scrub Link to normal Link. So that's not too terrible to redo. It's not too long. I'm curious which version you were playing. If they were playing the Virtual Console version, the original version, or basically if they weren't playing the 3DS version, Majora's Mask 3D, and they had the means to play that one, I would suggest moving on to that version and starting over because of the refinements they made in that one. I feel that's a good reason to go back and start over, is to play that version. If not, 2 cycles doesn't seem like you're that far. You should probably be either have beat or getting close to doing something with the first temple, essentially in the swamp. So and the Deku Scrub tribe and stuff like that. So I feel like you didn't get too far, and it wouldn't be too hard to jump back in, honestly. So
I don't have a piece of the Triforce in my heart, but I hate restarting a game. I would always just pick up where I left off every single time.
But then you don't remember what you were doing.
I would prefer that to playing through stuff I've already played through. That gets so annoying to me. Like, I know this.
It depends on like how long it's been though. What is it been?
Yeah.
Like a year?
Yeah.
Is it a month?
I hear you.
Yeah, that depends. I feel like Majora's Mask is just a really good story in that game, and it's like a more immediate story, like because you're being presented characters with their own narratives constantly. That if you've been away from that too long, I feel like you're gonna lose out on some of those connections if you didn't just, especially if you're that early in the game. It might just be better to restart, honestly.
Before we move on, Brad, can you give me your impression of the crying Goron?
Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh my God! Oh, that's so bad.
It's a perfect impression, though. Our next question comes to us.
Isn't that Ocarina of Time? Is that Majora's Mask? I thought
That's
that was
Majora's
Ocarina of Time.
Mask.
Yeah,
Is that where you quit, Kyle?
No, I actually did that
Snowhead.
part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God, Snowhead.
Wow,
This comes to
I
us
think
from
Ocarina.
Matthias Mogensen. Hello, Easy Allies. Greetings from Belgium here. Recently, I was able to start playing a game from my backlog, Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Ooh.
Okay, all right. I played and really enjoyed the first Mirror's Edge at the time of release and was therefore really excited and looking forward to the second game when it was announced, but because of personal things that happened, I couldn't make time for it until now. However, after playing it for several hours, I am left with an irritating and disappointing feeling. The main reason is that underneath everything, I don't like, there is still the game that I fell in love with, the first real, in my memory, at least first-person platformer. I may have said some extra words in that sentence. The main reason for my irritation were these two things that changed in Catalyst. One, instead of a clear start and endpoint, levels that are allowed for a lot of creativity for what route you took from point A to point B. Now you have an open world that feels either very restricted in how you can move through only allowing for one route, or lacks any direction in the more open parts. Also, I really like the aesthetic of, not Mass Effect, Mirror's Edge. By the way, 2 MEs from EA, with bright primary colors and sharp angles painting what at first looks like a beautiful utopia, of that gray sepia, dreary, half-crumbling dystopia that I've seen in so many games, but the open world lacks landmarks. That would have made it much easier to orientate yourself instead of having to look at the map and taking you out of the experience. Number two, the RPG-like system where you unlock abilities. Not only are many of them... Yeah, Damiani, you hate this game, right?
Well, I mean, I reviewed it, so I know exactly what they're talking about. Yes.
Not only are many of the abilities gameplay elements that were in the original game from the start, but are often also vital to helping you being able to keep your momentum up and move through the environment, which is the core part of the game. Don't get me wrong. Adding either of these things to a game in a series doesn't have to be a bad thing. Just look at Doom 2016 and Batman Arkham City. Both of these games are part of a series, and Doom added RPG elements that really added to the game and felt like it rewarded you for doing awesome things in the game. And the open world of Batman Arkham City expanded and added to the Batman feel of the game by allowing you more freedom, and that is the key difference, that they added to the games and were an integral part of it. With Mirror's Edge Catalyst, it feels like the marketing department said that open world and the ability to create your own playstyle were words that helped sell a game without thinking of how it added to the game itself and how they best should be implemented. Sometimes it feels that handcrafted levels are linear, and linear character progression have become dirty words, while when they are done right, like for instance in a game like Half-Life 2, they can be incredibly satisfying and awesome game experiences. Do the Allies ever feel like this, that marketing departments and focus group testing just made developers add things to a game because it would help sales without paying attention to how it is going to be added to the game and whether it is a right choice for this game? As always, love and respect.
Yeah, really quickly. I agree 100% because I did finish both Mirror's Edges, and you lose something by going open world. I see what they were trying to do with, giving you freedom to like get from point A to point B with like this awesome parkour, but crafting something, even though it's linear, doesn't necessarily make it worse. Mm-hmm. And I think I love that about Mirror's Edge 1 is that it's not about trying to go about it different ways. It's about trying to perfect that one way.
Oh yeah, dude, and I do think that linear at a certain point became a bad word. If a game is linear, it's
yeah.
I think linear is misused sometimes. Like the original Mirror's Edge, yes, it was like a linear objective, but you had multiple ways to tackle that objective. That's what people are always looking for. I feel when they complain about linear, it's just not just straight, but just like one solution. And I agree. Mirror's Edge Catalyst, I felt like they just made it open world for the sake of being open world because every game is going open world. And like that's going to be our solution. But being open world for the sake of open world without any thought put behind it, this led to it being so aimless. Like the whole thing about like there's no landmarks. Like there's not creativity in the city itself. It's just this big mass that is easy to get lost in. Everything kind of looks the same. It's very hard. Whereas Mirror's Edge, those levels, If you replay it, some of those levels are pretty unique looking. And there wasn't anything quite as similar as that in Mirror's Edge Catalyst. The RPG things, oh man, all I had to do was just add like cool new moves in Mirror's Edge Catalyst, stuff you couldn't do in the first one. Making the basic stuff, what you unlocked, was just like a shock. I couldn't understand.
Like sliding? You get to unlock sliding?
Sliding,
or like jumping on the like
the springboard stuff.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's bad.
what?
That's bad. Yeah,
come
that's a
on.
stupid thing going on. Before we move on, I want to handle that one part of the question, asking if we think that is marketing teams, that's market research that says those should be added, or if developers say, we want to try an open world game, we want to try RPG elements.
I mean, I don't have that insight, but I could totally, like, that idea on paper is awesome. Like, we're taking this crazy, awesome system of parkour that we made in Mirror's Edge 1, and we're going to blow it up and have an open world. Like, how cool is that? It's like, District B13 the game. It's like, get this package from this side of the city to that side of the city. Like, that idea is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, maybe it came from a good place in the creators of the game.
I think what happens more frequently than people with like nefarious marketing ideas is that the people who made Mirror's Edge 1 are like, yeah, this is really cool. And then they go, yeah, what if you could run anywhere? And then by the time that they realize that's not as cool as they thought it would be, they've already made most of the game and it's too late. So you have to put it out still.
That's AAA development. So you can't trash
I think that happens in AAA a lot of the time. That's why I respect like Blizzard and stuff when they're just like, nope, game doesn't work. Bye.
Yeah. That's really good.
Because that takes a lot of guts and that costs a lot of money. EA does not do that.
I would like to, as politely as possible, request that questions are not as long as that last one we just read.
Sorry, Kyle. I actually was. I don't. Yeah, I mean in the most love and respect way. Yeah, that too. Just to be fair to other people. Yeah, to be fair to other people so they can get their questions in.
I think Ben usually just like goes to the end and asks the question.
But as one of the biggest open world fans of the group, I have to say the open world is a tool, not a solution. Like if you make your game open world, it's not instantly going to make it better. In fact, it could like completely destroy everything you're trying to do. You just have to. That's why Breath of the Wild impresses me so much, because they really looked at how it can improve the franchise and how it can do things that they've never done before, and they made it work well and create an open world that functions differently than any I've ever seen. So if you can do that, then that works.
The form is the function. Do things for reasons.
Yeah. And I mean, it took them 3 extra years to make that game because of that. It's a lot to deal with. Next question. Good afternoon, allies. I had a roller coaster of a week. I don't want to burden you all too much, but immediately following the truly wonderful EZA anniversary festivities, I returned home to a fairly tragic thing in my personal life that is beyond my control. I need some distracting, and I finished Zelda, and I'm nearly done with Nier. Any recommendations for something to get lost in and lift my spirits would be appreciated. Film, show, game, etc. all apply. LNR, Rick.
Yakuza 0.
Sure.
All you need, baby. All you need. Settle
That's an excellent pick, actually. That is an excellent pick.
Settle in.
You know what I think happened? I think Rick edited the original question, because this is from 3 weeks ago. That's what I was wondering.
I was going to say, how did this get in here?
Oh yeah, people drop in like placeholder.
Got it. Okay. So this is as immediate as it is. So we actually.
I'm worried though. Rick seems caught up. Nier and Breath of the Wild, like done with those. Those are brand new.
You nailed it. Yakuza 0. Oh, you think Rick might be already done with Yakuza 0?
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Give him a film then. It's a film, show, game, anything.
Well, got to be a TV show because films are short.
Yeah.
So
well, and also like not knowing the nature of the issue, like sometimes you watch a thing and that's just like
makes it worse.
I don't want to deal with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great comedy specials on Netflix if you want to just kind of veg out. And there's one thing. That's one thing I've been really proud of in Netflix is like HBO kind of was leading the charge with that before by having these big, like bringing people like Dave Chappelle back and giving them a highlight, spotlight on their careers. And it's just like every time I turn on Netflix, there's another crazy special from somebody. I just saw one went up the other day from a YouTube star that I didn't know. And it's like, how awesome that YouTube guy is now on Netflix. It's pretty sweet.
I would recommend it started as a web series and then HBO picked it up. There's a show called High Maintenance that I think just does human beings better than most shows I've ever seen. Like they're all just really well realized people. Like I don't smoke weed, but I still get it, you know, like because the connective tissue is this weed salesman guy. So like it's just little vignettes of all these people's lives, and then at some point they'll call the guy, you know, and then he shows up. But it's almost like never about that. It's more about like these people, and it's truly beautiful. It's an incredible show, and there are a lot of web series things. If you've got HBO Go, you've got all the web series and the season 1 of the show. It's really good.
I like JRPGs that are turn-based. You're not thinking. You just plunge yourself into those hours and hours and hours. If you're down, if you're blue, get a JRPG. Yakuza 0 is a really good recommendation too.
I'm gonna recommend you start watching One Piece because that's gonna last you a long time.
No,
It's a good pick, Rob.
And it's
Don't
jolly.
do it.
Next month, Rick's like, okay, so I'm done with One Piece. What do I watch now?
Any last recommendations?
Well, kind of similar to yours is that Xenoblade. Xenoblade will take you a while.
Nice.
Bad faces.
Final Fantasy 14.
What?
That goes.
Bad faces?
Xenoblade has good faces. Xenoblade X, bad faces.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one has some bad faces. That's right.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Final Fantasy 14 is a lot of human interaction, Ian. That's where I would get caught up.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't play it like
Stresses me
that.
out. How do you play?
Well, I guess I play it with Damiani.
Yeah.
So I interact with people I already know. Not
Ian's in
fair.
it for the outfits.
I am totally just in it for the outfits. That is true.
Our next question comes to us from Brad Grenz. Dear allies, I enjoy cooking. My signature dishes include Kung Pao chicken, roasted tomatillo, and chicken enchiladas, fried ravioli with sausage ragu, and chicken tikka masala.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I was having you over for a dinner party. Which of these would you be most excited to have?
Oh gosh.
Chicken enchiladas.
Chicken tikka
Yeah,
masala.
I'm with Brad.
Give me that tikka masala if you can
Yeah.
take it without dairy.
Ravioli
Tikka masala,
sounds
please.
intriguing, but go with an old staple.
Yep.
I
I
love
always
it.
like to try different variations of Mexican food more than anything. So chicken enchiladas for sure.
Cool.
Can you,
All right,
can
so
you tweet me? Do you know a recipe for chicken vindaloo? Tweet
never
me a
heard of
recipe. Chicken vindaloo is my favorite. It's an Indian chicken stew. It's got big potatoes in it. Oh my god, it's amazing.
So good. With some of that
Sorry, what were you saying? Kyle?
naan, some of that naan, Ian.
Oh yes, naan.
Mhm.
It's a non-issue.
That's so good.
Yeah, I used to love going to that Indian food truck we had over by Viacom.
Oh yeah, I miss those trucks.
My favorite Indian restaurant in LA is called Taj Mahal Restaurant. It's on Pico. It's real good.
Oh, I know that. I've never been there. Okay.
Yeah. It's very awkward inside because there's never anyone in it. I think all their business is
it seems
delivery.
like an empty, cheesy looking place, but
It's
okay.
very, very awkward, but it's really good.
Non-issue is a good name of a web series where people have problems and they call their non-guy. Brings them some nons.
Goodness.
It's like beat for beat
I'll
high
boss it,
maintenance,
everyone.
but just about non.
Next,
I love your humor, dude. The most.
that was Ian. That was Ian's joke.
Yeah, but you plussed it up. You plussed it up.
And I love Ian's too. You got both of your guys' humor.
Next question is a question.
Watch
Here we
Easy
go.
Update tonight.
Oh yeah, good one. Good episode.
It's
Comes to us
32 minutes long
from
because of
Brian.
that and the meetup. What?
This comes to us from Brian Coase. Logan is a 10. Take that, Jones. That's it.
Does Jones disagree?
Yeah,
I
Jones.
thought Jones agreed that it's a 10.
Yeah, well, one of the, I mean, this brings up a serious issue
Oh God.
in that in gaming and film and book and television criticism, a lot of times if you critique something, you're instantly it's like there's
Oh,
the
this
people
is
that
fair.
like it,
Okay,
there's
yeah.
the people that don't.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I had this
Yeah,
one
yeah.
issue with it. It's like, well, you didn't like it. And it's like, no, I didn't say that. It's like,
Yeah.
especially things that I love. Like, I love Batman. You will never hear anybody critique Batman more than me. Like, I will go after comic books I love. I go back and watch animated series episodes. The animation's totally wacky and like the speed of how things move and proportions are all screwy. So like, I critique for a living, and like he's commenting on me not being a fan of the casting of Wolverine. I love the Logan's a 10. I would agree. I think Logan is a 10. I think it's the best film of that franchise, no question.
Jackman's intent. Next
Jackman's
question comes to us from Robert I. Once VR is further along and textures in them become 8K quality, what video game worlds would you like to hang out in?
Oh,
So we're talking hyper real.
Hyrule.
Sorry?
Dragon Quest is always my number one.
Great picks.
Dragon Quest?
Yep. Well, you're talking Dragon Quest 8, right?
Any of them.
Yeah, because I mean,
Always
11,
my favorite worlds.
11 looks just as good. 11's sick. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
man.
You're just hanging out in there.
Yeah. Hanging out in a Dragon Quest town?
Wait, so did Damiani say Hyrule?
No, that was Brad.
I did.
Brad, do you want photo real Hyrule?
Yeah, which
I'd be
Hyrule?
okay with either way they did it. I like photorealistic, and I like the more cartoony way too.
I'm also going to say Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I want to do space stuff. I honestly, I would be cool with Mass Effect. I'd be cool with this thing where I get my own spaceship. I could walk around in.
Star Citizen, baby. Theoretically.
Can you walk
Are we
around in those
seeing
things?
this?
Yeah.
Nice.
Are we seeing Cyberpunk at E3 this year?
Yes. Hubert
No.
on Scorpio.
Lock it.
Lock it in.
Oh,
Scorpio.
Cyberpunk on Scorpio.
Lock that in, Kyle.
Give me some more VR worlds before we move on.
Galaxy. Super Mario.
Ooh.
Eorzea.
Good pick.
And
Yeah.
Witcher.
Mine would
Commons
be-
14.
Mine would just be like real life, but I'm different. Little
That's a
San
good
Junipero
point.
situation.
Yeah, that's a really good pick, honestly.
Yeah.
Yarnum.
Oh yeah, that too.
Too spooky. Blood,
Yeah,
I think I
San
heard you start
Junipero,
one.
but you could go into Yarnum in an arcade in San Junipero.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil Remake. I just want to see that.
Yeah, Witcher's just been a great one to walk around in. Witcher 3. So I remember the first time I got into some of those forests in Skellige, and like even though I'd already played the game for like 40, 50 hours, I'm like, dang, this place looks amazing.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't hear you. Forest where?
Forest in Skellige.
I'm sorry, one more time. I can't hear you. Where
Where's
is
that?
Forest?
Where's that?
Might need a yellow blood.
Okay, our next
not gonna
question.
do it.
comes to us from Yang Lee. Yeah. We're not clowns. I'm not going to force him to clown. All right, Yang Lee. Happy 1-year anniversary. What was your favorite moment in Easy Allies?
Oh.
What? Whoa.
My favorite
I've
moment.
been asked this question 5 times. I still don't have an answer. They're all good.
Yeah, I got mine locked and loaded. E3 2016. Just hanging out late and sweating with all the Easy Allies as we talk passionately about video games. Just the best time. Easily
The best.
E3.
I know. I was thinking about it. I just think about it more and more, Kyle. And it's like E3 with all of you is incredible, but then you add in the Allies community and the Allies chat and just the amount of hype and the amount of like, anytime you like throw a crazy like what if scenario out there, just chat exploding, like
chat lighting up.
yes.
You're right. Feeding back on the enthusiasm is important. I agree. You're right.
So good.
My favorite moment was shaking Miyazaki's hand at E3.
Whoa.
Oh wow. There's so many things. Like there's the Halloween party, there's the meetups.
Yeah, the concert and the meetups were incredible.
I
Probably
think
the best moment.
so. I wouldn't necessarily is my favorite moment, but like I felt like a lightning bolt came flying out of the sky and flew right into my heart and filled my brain with joy. Was when Yoshida retweeted us and quoted and said, "I stand with Easy Allies,"
Oh yeah.
and that was like
originally, right?
the week we launched.
Yeah. That was
And-
pretty cool.
Wait, he walked up to me and Bosman at E3 and knew both of us. I was like,
jelly.
whoa.
So jelly, so damn jelly.
Well, yeah, like
Oh.
I had those weird E3 moments this last year too, where it's like I was waiting in line to play The Last Guardian, and like somebody's like, "Hey, the God of War team wants to meet you," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I'm not, and then I'm over there talking to them, and then Shu walks up, and he's like, "So you guys gonna do a God of War musical now?"
Yeah. Oh, that appreciation book of letters. That was life changing.
That was pretty huge. That was cool.
Life changing. I mean, every second of this is like
Damiani, did you do one?
Insane. Every second of this.
Kyle. We've all talked about like the fun and happy ones, the jolly ones.
Okay.
But that moment in Mario Kart 64, still stands out to me. Just after all the stuff we'd been through, Kyle telling me A Link to the Past sprites don't look good. Telling me it doesn't hold up. It was just like Miyamoto had just infused me with this power and said, "Live the jolly life, Damiani. Enjoy this moment. It is yours." And to see everyone's reactions, I had to like watch it afterwards and see how you all reacted was the funniest thing ever. Because, well, not me. It was like everyone else's, right? Like Ben just like, evil wins again. No. But Kyle's reaction was the best because Kyle, you have some good reactions. No, everything else was really good, but I wanted to give an answer. I feel sometimes people want us to give like the weird, not the weird, but like the non like love and respect answers sometimes. Like, hey, what was the one where you got to pop off at someone or something like that? So there you go. I'll be the bad guy.
He's not a bad guy. That's a good answer. I mean, that was a moment, and those are always fun. The rooms have energy in them in those moments. I don't think it's a bad answer, Damiani.
Winning the Slusher Cup and throwing it on the floor in front of Mike is really fun.
That's the bad guy. That's 100% bad guy. That's just rude. Our next question comes to us from Silent Consonant. Hey, allies, would each of you please tell us one of your video game journalism horror stories? This can be a horror story from the industry or something like what happened to Damiani with Target and the NES Classic. Love and respect.
I was just talking about this. My very first interview ever was with Ted Price.
Oh.
And it was very...
I remember that interview, dude.
Intimidation, dude. Intimidation, Jones. My first...
I remember it.
Like,
I can watch it in my head right now. It was so uncomfortable. It's awesome.
So uncomfortable. And like, I was so bad, and like, he was so intense that like, I would ask him questions, and he would think I was like coming after him. It was like, it was just it was not fun. It was not fun.
I think he was stressed at that time. I think he was definitely stressed.
It was a very intense. It was like Sunset Overdrive was coming out. He was so busy that like he would literally run back to his office in between each interview for like which was like a 2-minute downtime. He would like run back and like work and come out. But it was intense. Interviews, man.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Anytime I've had to do like, actual journalism stuff, that's pretty intense. But I remember when Elise and I had that long-running joke about Jonathan Blow, and we asked him if he'd be down to do the taco joke.
Yeah. No. He just said no.
And then we did an actual like interview with him, which was fun. And I mean, he's a very interesting man. I respect him a lot, But like the feeling of him thinking that I was like that we were making fun of him in like a bad way, maybe like I don't know if he knew or not, but like I didn't want him to think that. But like that was a pretty intense moment.
There's been lots of times in Final Bosman's where I've been really embarrassed of mistakes I made. I actually had to like just check to make sure I got it all right. Mixing up Mike Bithell with Tom Bissell. And like having that be really embarrassing, and just like you should know those guys, you know what I mean? Like if you're in the biz, you should know Mike Bithell and you should know Tom Bissell and you should know the difference between those two people. And I didn't. I thought they had the same last name. That's embarrassing. There's been lots of Final Bossman episodes actually where I like totally regretted how I wrote it and the point I was trying to make. And so those are horror stories. That anxiety you feel of just like I put out a bad thing. That always sucks. I really don't like that.
But you learned from it.
You learn from it. You move forward.
Don't
talk about the Bithell or Bissells.
I remember the first year that we went to Gamescom, and when it was like first in Cologne, and like the travel situation was not was not set up right at all, and so we went to this long travel process, and then our bags weren't there, and so we didn't have any of our stuff, and it was almost no time before we had to like start going to press conferences and everything, and so Ryan Stevens like literally had to go out and try to buy us clothes so that we would have some clothes to change into. And then on the way back, they had booked us through like another airport, not the Cologne airport, like a different city. And there was some kind of train that we were supposed to get on. And nobody we asked around town or at the hotel and like knew what this train was that we were referring to. And then we had to like drag all of our heavy luggage like up onto these train tracks and everything. It was just insane. And we were just standing on the train for like 30 or 40 minutes waiting to get to the airport.
Man, we had that other time we went to Gamescom. It took us like 37 hours of travel time because we missed that flight because Air France didn't make their own connection.
Yeah, Paris. Do not connect through Paris.
Yeah, don't connect through Paris. They're very laissez-faire about their own flights.
Oh, you know what? The real worst time ever was leaking the title of Star Wars 1313 by accident on the Game Trailer's website. That sucked.
Oh,
Did you do that?
I did that. I did that by accident. Yeah.
Whoa.
Damn.
Well, that game got canceled. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. In the end, it's all right.
Man, that
You know
game
what-
would have been so cool.
What was cool though is I had to go to Keeley to tell him.
Was he in charge
Face
at
to
the
face.
time?
Yeah. Well, GTTV is his show. It was his show.
Oh, yeah.
And he was totally cool with it. He was the coolest guy. Like, I think he knew that I was destroyed and I felt so bad. And he looked at me and he said, okay, it's okay.
did you just like make a game record? Like, how did that happen?
It was, so I used to, for the website, whenever GTTV would be up, I'd have to like put a bunch of dumb text up there and like images. And I think what leaked was the thumbnail. And it said like Star Wars 1313 on the bottom of it.
Mm.
Did someone like hack in and get it, or did you just post it
I
accidentally?
posted it live. I posted the image live, not the whole video, but the image itself, and people were able to extract what that meant.
Intense.
Yeah, it was dumb.
It's crazy. Like,
What about Lords of Shadow 2, Bosman?
Same episode. Yep, I think I leaked that as well.
I'm getting a full article. Star Wars 1313, Cosmo into Lords of Shadow leaked ahead of E3 announcements.
The hoodie's going up.
I remember.
Okay. Any more horror stories?
Yeah, the it's tricky because I think the horror stories they wanted were like 3DSs getting stolen and stuff like that. Whereas like I don't obviously the industry ones like stick out more for me right now. But I remember if I want to go as low as I possibly can, I remember I think it was the second, it might have been the third, but I think it was the second year we did all access for E3. And the first year I had a lot to learn because I had not done anything with television. And so we go into the second year and I have the either the last year or the last 2 years is like kind of a bit of experience. But like this year, our director is not nice. So this is a person coming in from Viacom that's literally just flying to LA, doing like 3 or 4 days of the show, and then they're out. So like they are a television person. They don't know anything about video games. They don't know anything about E3. They don't know anything about Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo. They know television. And so they come in and they're like, where are my cue sheets or something? They're like, where are these sheets I'm supposed to have? And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, I need these sheets. I'm like, I don't work in television. I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, these sheets, ask him. And they're like, everybody literally would give me always the short, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I always had to tell people, I have no idea what you're talking about. And they're like, we need a form that has all of when the times start and how long they are and all of this stuff. So I'm working on no sleep for like 3 days straight. And this is the night before the first day of the E3. And I'm given these forms that I don't know how to fill out. And I kind of have to improvise how they're doing. And I had a straight up nervous breakdown on the floor of my kitchen. Like Amanda was in there just like doing dishes. And I just dropped the papers on the floor. And I was like, I am physically about to just die. Like, because I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I can't process thought to actually do these. And so I just like slapped them together and brought them the next day. And I swear to God, she never used them. She was like, oh yeah, great. Anyway, can we do blah, blah, blah? And I was like, Oh,
Jones,
man.
I think it's worth doing a little more background on that. Like, because it was Spike TV, this stuff was on TV. We were just cheap employees. They didn't pay us any extra for that stuff.
Yeah, that was just another day at work.
Yeah, and so they picked Brandon Jones, co-founder of Game Trailers, and gave you grunt work because you were a free guy because he worked at Game Trailers. That's crazy to me.
But the other frustrating thing was it was like 3 or 4, like a whole month of prep going into this. We would meet every single week, talk about everything, and these freaking forums never came up. And then just like the day where she's like, "Get those forums?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
That's a good nightmare.
That was the lowest of the low right there.
Our next question is pretty spicy. We got a spicy one here. This comes from Andreas Kother.
Kother.
Oh, so I guess you don't do TH like that in German? Okay. Kother. Love, respect, and a happy belated birthday to the allies. Kyle's reluctance to talk about the kind of funny drama on the podcast last week made me wonder, what is the allies' stance on topics that are not suited for the podcasts? You can always argue that the Moriarty PewDiePie situations aren't really gaming related, but personally, I think they can be discussed without attracting too much heat. I completely understand if you shy away from some topics, but the Palmer Luckey and Mass Effect harassment talk you had proved you guys can do it well.
I think there's one key difference. I don't know Palmer Luckey. I do know Colin Moriarty. So if I speak on Palmer Luckey, I'm just theorizing. This is like, okay, well, let's look back on this picture from a distance and kind of figure out what's going on. Where if I bring up opinions about Colin, I think it gets a little muddy of you knowing like, well, is Jones saying that because Colin told him that? Is Jones saying that because he knows that? Is Jones saying that because he's the allies is now going to do that? Like, I think the reading in between the lines, those spaces, I think get a little more potentially poisonous, depending if we bring that stuff up or offer our own opinions versus we don't work at Sony, who knows,
Yeah, but I mean,
that's one part of it. That's not the answer. That's just one part of it.
Right, because I don't know who JonTron is, and I don't want to talk about it. I think that there is drama that.
I actually don't know who he is. Is he like a streamer or something?
JonTron.
He made YouTube videos.
You remember Game Grumps?
No.
Okay.
It's just not. Go ahead.
Kind of guy I don't need to know about. All right.
So, Damiani, I'm curious if you would choose to talk about these things on a podcast because you do always handle them well.
I mean, if people want it to be talked about, I feel like it's kind of like you owe it to people to discuss it. Mm-hmm. The reason I tend to not really say much about these people is because I just don't want to give them attention. I feel people are doing a good enough job, voicing what my stance would be on the thing and going, and already going after them for whatever, for their mistakes and stuff, and calling any more attention to it just keeps giving them what I feel like some of these people benefit from this stuff. Like too often in recent times, stuff that would have made you have to apologize. You'd have to like step away for a while. Like you'd have to actually feel sorry for what you did. People just kind of get like a boost from this stuff. Like the whole there's no such thing as bad attention or publicity is like never more true than now, apparently. So I would rather not be part of the problem by feeding into that. But if I see people not saying an angle or perspective that I feel in the conversation, I feel more inclined to talk then. Mm-hmm. But I only really talk about it if people like ask me like directly, like, hey, like please talk about it. And I'll be honest about
your
it.
Opinion, yeah.
But yeah, I just feel some of these things are just covered to death, and it's just giving them more attention, and they benefit from it. So I mean, if you're reading between the lines here, like I don't support a lot of these these things that are going on, but by talking about it, it will give them attention. It'll give them more eyeballs. It'll benefit them, and I don't want that to happen. But I will say, like, I believe in like everyone deserves like second chances and should be able to reform and learn from their mistakes. I've been that type of person before. Like I was not always like think like I do now. So I also think you need to give people a chance to like change and stuff. So like a lot of these controversies. So the sooner they can like say sorry, get over it, and like have like that civil discourse about what I want them to show that they're like, hey, what did I really do wrong? I actually don't get it. Like I haven't seen your point of view, but That never happens. That never actually happens, though. So
It happened with you. You're a reformed troll.
But I mean, a reformed troll. Are you trolling me now, Kyle?
I am. But you said you used to think differently. You said yourself.
Yeah, I don't want to
think
take a because I was raised in in Texas and in a affluent suburb and stuff. So obviously I didn't get to experience and see the diversity of the world and stuff like that until college and then moving out to California. So there's proof that people can like see other points of views and be like, hey, wow, I was really ignorant of that. I'm really sorry about that. I will do better next time. And I feel some of these people come from those backgrounds, but when they double down on their views and they don't want to budge for whatever reason, that upsets me. Like I wish not everyone's like that, but that's the point of where I start to lose respect for some people. It's like, you double down on this, you're not even gonna try and reconcile. It either means you care more about like your business and money and you're freaked out that you're going to lose all that, or you really do believe in that stuff and you're like, no, I'm not backing down on it. It's like, oh, yeah, sometimes it hurts and it sucks, but you need to say you're wrong and deal with the fact that you were in the wrong and, begin that process towards, making amends for it. Because if you do that, people will forgive you, generally speaking.
I totally agree with that. I think people are eager to forgive. Huber, I'm curious about your answer on this. Where do you draw the line about what we should talk about, what we should cover on our podcasts?
I like video games.
Okay, a great response.
That's my answer. I just think it's all over. There are way more. Like people talk about these sensitive issues. So my stance is like, if you want to hear about it, like it's readily available. Mm-hmm. So like we're not. I just don't feel obligated to talk about these things.
Yeah, I got a tweet recently actually that said, because we talked about waypoints in the most recent podcast, and someone said, Kyle, there's way more important stuff right now than to talk about waypoints, dude. And I love that waypoint discussion. I love talking about video games. So I do. I think a lot of it comes from my personal interest and what I like to talk about, what I'm passionate about.
Absolutely. And it's like, there's enough pain and suffering in the world as it is. Like Easy Allies is about distraction and playing games and community, and we're all here together, and that's what I love.
Well, and it's like it's a safe harbor kind of thing, Like
if
we bring that in, like we get so many comments about how inclusive and how like thoughtful everything is, and like if you bring that stuff in, it poisons the well. Like even if you're saying, because I mean, you can imagine like we don't tolerate harassment and like, intolerant behavior and stuff like that. Like we're not about that, and we're not going to be about that. So what we would say is what you would expect us to say. But like
your sentence was, we do not tolerate intolerance.
I know what my sentence was.
Okay. All right.
But like, so even like bringing it in, like I don't even like seeing pictures of these like hateful people and stuff because it just makes me feel bad, and it's like, that doesn't belong here. We don't need that.
I get so many comments about people feeling safe, and I just want to keep that up.
Yeah, there's no reason to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess for me, it just kind of feels like. Sorry. For me, it just kind of feels like butting into somebody else's business in a way. Like when some of this is like, these are, other people's communities and fights and things and whatever. And like, I do not have the perspective to even know like the entire issue in a lot of these occasions. So to just like, to be presented that in the midst of the podcast with no preparation is kind of, like that would be kind of blindsiding to me.
Jones, go ahead. Wrap us up on this one.
Well, I think that's what's great about Q&As and love and respect and frame trap and having the forums that we do have available for one-on-one conversation with us, that if something comes up that we choose, this could be, this could kind of go on, or this could not work well for us, so we don't really feel our opinions are valid here. And then if you reach out to us and we see like a lot of comments being like, no, I really do want you to weigh in on this, I do want your opinion, then this is the time to do it.
Ian, did you say an Did I hear an from you?
No.
Okay, great. We all good?
I'm getting my feed's squirrely. I'm gonna bow out and come right back.
Okay, great.
This tends to happen about 1 hour in. I'll be right back.
So our next question is a doozy. I'm going to read it.
Parse it down.
This is one we get a lot.
Oh.
This is one I get a lot. This comes from Leon Keys. Hey, EZA. Blackie Chan Adventures from Twitch here. That name sounds racist, right? I'm not crazy.
It depends on if this person is black or Asian or both, I guess.
I like this. Here we go. To get my name out of the way real quick, I see why Kyle may be slightly worried or offended whenever he sees my name pop up on Twitch, but I'm just a black man who loves martial arts who was called that by my younger brother. Even if it is a slight jab, it was funny, and I took it as a compliment since Jackie Chan is one of my inspirations.
Jackie Chan's a wonderful person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, he is. Okay. My question is for Kyle. Why don't you create scripted videos anymore? Now that you no longer have a boss to answer to, we are lucky to get anything scripted and produced from the Bosman himself. Not only have you taken much longer between releasing a video about the industry, which is understandable when you're busy with freelance, but some videos don't ever get released because you have been on extra critical of your work. I get that you want things to be perfect. Most creators do, especially when the work is personal and not restricted by deadlines. But those deadlines help us get over the hangups and force us to get the job done. The less you create, the duller your skills become. You are too talented to just wait around letting your wit, comedic timing, and creativity go to waste. You went from writing a weekly show for a couple of years to releasing a couple of vids a year. I get that you can't just pick up where you left off with GT and spit out scripted videos every week. Just forcing yourself to get something done once or twice a month, and more importantly, getting feedback, is enough to keep your skills sharp. Whether it's the length of Bosman at home or Dear Bosman, anything is better than nothing. What I'm getting at is we all miss scripted Bosman on a more frequent basis, and anything you produce, good or animal jokes bad, is loved and respected by me and the rest of the EZA community. I love Tabletop Escapades, the podcast, and everything in them, but I'd also like scripted Bosman telling us fun and thoughtful opinions about the game industry while smearing Cheetos on his liquid face with a smug Damiani in the background, along with Huber and Ian yelling something with a German accent. I know ECA needs a studio for any special guests. I hate requesting this of you, but you are the sole reason why I came back to GT when I thought they were only good for their reviews. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have learned that not every voice about games has to be loud, cynical, and angry. That even I could still respect a man who not only quit the best Final Fantasy game after 20 minutes because of Moogle named Mog, but also thinks that A Link to the Past is a bad game. More importantly, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know who Brandon, Blood, Ben, Brad, Huber, Ian, Damiani, Don, Elise, and Matt are. A talented, insightful, hilarious group of people who introduced me to real hype, retros, pop fiction, turtle doves, and that E3 was more than just press conferences, especially when Buttons is involved. Believe it or not, Kyle, you are influential and inspiring, and I thank you for shifting the pessimistic, sarcastic tone of the games media back towards something a lot more optimistic and fun. Yep, I'm giving all the credit to you. I appreciate any time you and the rest of the allies can give and can give to entertaining us. We just want more of your work, Kyle, so please make more videos that give us a unique perspective on the industry while making us laugh. And most of all, thank you for introducing me to the best bunch of white guys talking about video games on the internet in the world. Thanks for taking the time to read all of this, and thank you for informing EZA and not giving up. Y'all are great, and I can't wait for E3, Shenmue 3 hype, love and respect, and F the Senate. And to Kyle, you got to get up on that desk, get up on that desk. Whew. Okay. That's one to pick apart, huh? Yeah, so obviously I think I get that one a lot. Make a new show, Kyle. You would think I'd be preparing an answer the whole time I read that. Yeah, I know. I feel the pressure. I feel it. And to be honest with you, Q&A, behind the scenes, I've even said, guys, I'm trying to figure out how I can do a show. I'm trying to figure out how I can make it. I get caught up in that stuff. As you said, even Dear Bosman doesn't really happen anymore. And a lot of it is like, it's super hard, I think, to have enough confidence in your ideas to say this needs to be on video and I need to make this and I need everyone to hear my opinions. And sometimes I just don't have that. I don't have that. I think this video needs to be made. And go ahead.
Can I throw something out there?
Please.
Someone who sat next to you at work like all the time.
Yep.
I feel like it just stressed you out, man, and just kind of destroyed you at a point, and you just needed to take a step back and a break from it all. It's a lot of pressure for you to do that show.
Yeah, right. It said, please just entertain us and make us laugh again. And it's like, I can't, that's not that easy, man.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, yeah, we all want a show to come back, but we don't want you to do it unless you're actually ready to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing to do is, you know, if the old thing stressed you out, change the thing. Like, don't overthink it. Don't kill yourself to do it. Like, easy update is different than mandatory update. Mandatory update was a very different show and was way more stressful to make.
Yeah, I mean, he said that he has ideas or he wants to do kind of stuff, but he just probably doesn't have the right solution for it yet that he's comfortable with.
Yeah, I never want to make something worse. I never want to make something worse than the final Bosman. You know, that bums me out. And I think a lot of things I would do would be worse.
Make something different enough that you can't compare it.
Yeah, I think that's what it would have to be.
Like, because there is no worse. Like, really, if you're enjoying it, like, if it's fun for you, it's going to be great. They're going to love it.
Yeah. Ian, you have, I don't know if we have to explain it or not. You got 2 new people behind you.
Oh, that's my dad and Cindy.
Explain it?
My dad's in town.
Hey.
And Bender's back
Do they know
there.
Do they know that thousands will see them online?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
I want to get up on that couch right there. It looks like a cozy couch.
This is our new couch. It's fantastic.
Why I didn't mind reading that long question is that obviously we do hear that a lot. We do hear that Easy Allies should have a Bosman show. I will just say that I have a lot of anxiety about it. I want to make it the right thing. And when I have a good idea, it will happen. But, you know, I'm always scared.
There is something like, I mean, the dichotomy here is hilarious and not lost on me because, like, I always preach fast and loose and you always are about doing, like, you know, slow and tight. But, like,
the rules of comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm all about learn the rules and then forget them. And you're all about, you know, following the rules. And, like, having this comment said this, like, having a deadline, being beholden and, like, letting go is hugely powerful. You know?
Oh yeah, it helps big time.
Like,
I miss it. I miss that, like, big time.
So, like, just creating your own deadline, like, you know, is a great way to just start doing things.
Yeah.
And, like, Easy Update is mostly just me testing out things that I want to get better at. So.
Yeah, and also it's something that if I have to do something like live with YouTube Gaming again, it's something I want to be able to not drop because I have a job. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the question, Leon. I will no longer call your name racist, even though I still believe it sounds racist. Okay. Mike Hook 1 says, hey, has everyone finished Zelda yet? The answer needs to be yes. There will be no excuses for not dedicating all your time to Persona 5 next week.
Can't play
it. Yeah, not yet. I haven't finished.
What happened this morning, Jones?
It's not what happened this morning. So last night, I crack open my brand new Switch. Thank you to the amazing ally that gave me a Switch at our meetup this week. I was like, no, I can't possibly. No, this is too much. I can't put that in my backpack. And so last night I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm knee deep in Ghost Recon right now, but let's do it. And so I like turn it on, log in, you know, sign up, make a Nintendo account, get Zelda. It's at 2%, and I dock it. So downloading Zelda, put it in dock at 2%. Wake up this morning, pull it out, 3%. So it does not download while it's docked, even if it's not in sleep mode before you dock it.
This is not true.
Tell my Switch then, brah.
I know, but I downloaded the Switch yesterday in the dock.
I put in the white switch. It was like I could see the white light on the screen, and then when it clicked in the dock, it turned off. I was like, all right. Then I walked to my bed and put my head on the pillow, then took my head off the pillow, walked back over, and pulled it off.
Maybe it's because it wasn't going into a TV or something. That's really weird. Because
yours wasn't going into TV, maybe.
Yeah, because I downloaded something while docked yesterday. So maybe it's because it wasn't going into a TV.
Maybe.
Was yours sleeping? Was yours sleeping?
I didn't put it into sleep mode.
Oh, okay.
I just docked it.
Jones was sleeping.
No,
yeah. He didn't put it into sleep mode. Did you put it into sleep mode?
It was not in sleep mode when I put it on the dock.
Right.
The dock itself turned it off. like turned off the screen.
If you put it into the dock and it's not hooked up, there's no HDMI out, it puts the Switch into sleep mode.
Yeah. So maybe that's what happened. Because mine goes into a receiver, so it always thinks it's hooked to something.
Look at Jones tarnishing the poor Switch.
Well, it should download in sleep mode anyways.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, the key point is it's probably downloaded right now, so let's pick up the pace, gentlemen.
Okay, so
Okay.
I just want to see yeses and nos.
Go till 2.
Yeses and nos, real quick. Have you finished Zelda?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
And yes. And Damiani, yes.
4 yeses.
Yep. Ben, has Ben finished it? Do we know?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ben's
Wow.
Here we
Wow.
go.
Okay.
Don has not finished it, but he's playing it.
Hey,
Awesome.
allies. Do any of you guys listen to Daft Punk? And if so, what are your top 3 favorite songs from them and why? Mine would be Giorgio by Marauder, Voyager, and Television Rules the Nation / Crescendol's remix from their Alive 2007 tour, LNR Kyra S.
The Tron Legacy soundtrack.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
Sick soundtrack.
One More Time in Around the World, or whatever the actual song is called.
Sure.
Just because I had to take a trip with a bunch of friends, a long distance trip, and we organized a bus to do it. And the whole trip, it was from Austin to Dallas. The entire 3.5 hours, it just played One More Time the entire way. And like people would not stop dancing on the bus for 3.5 hours. So it's stuck in my head forever. So I get extremely hyped when I hear One More Time just because of that. This is a 3.5 hour nonstop hype
We
trip.
gotta play that before E3. We gotta
Yeah, we do.
get an hour of One More Time.
I like bigger, faster, whatever, stronger, whatever. Because my sister's name is Anya, and there's a part in that song where they go, "That's how long I've been Anya," and it's really funny. Also, just a quick shout out to LCD Sound Systems. Daft Punk is playing at my house. That song is amazing.
So
That Anya thing's only in the Kanye West thing.
Oh, well, in either way, I like that too.
There you go.
And there's a video online of a person doing all the words
The
with their hands. It's really
Yep.
good.
the thing. Yeah, that is really cool.
Favorite songs are Aerodynamic, Digital Love, and Instant Crush. Love Instant Crush. It's got Julian from Strokes on. I think he's a really talented vocalist.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know that's the name of that track. That one's super
Yeah.
cool. Digital Love for me as well. And I can't remember the last track of their most recent album where it starts off with people talking about seeing a flying saucer.
Contact?
Yeah, dude.
Great movie.
Big time.
Such a good movie.
Great movie, great Daft Punk track. Do we have more to toss out? Moving on. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Over the last few years, we started to see some bigger games move away from October/November releases in favor of a Q1 release instead. Granted, some have been due to delays. In most cases, the shift does not seem to have affected sales in a negative way, and in the case of a game like Dying Light, its sales may have received a boost to some degree. This year, however, Q1 is on a whole other level and is so busy that is next to impossible to keep up. I now worry that games like Yakuza 0 or Nier Automata may get passed over simply because of the volume of new releases. Yes. My question is this. Do you think the timing of a game's release is as important as it once was? Or, as an example, do you think if a big title like Horizon or Mass Effect choose to release in July or August, that it would still in 2017 have a negative impact on sales? Love and respect. Beaten down, Brian.
Have no fear. Yakuza 0 is the best-selling game in the franchise.
Oh, that's good.
Whoa,
Man.
is that true, Hubert? You got a headline? for that?
In the West.
Okay.
That's great.
That's good. I think time of year doesn't matter as much as it used to. There used to be the
Right.
stigma against summer and then the end of winter. Like anything after in North America, anything after the Thanksgiving holiday, after Black Friday, was like, nope, you missed the boat on that. So I think time of year doesn't matter as much anymore.
I mean,
But
December's still a graveyard.
it
There's
is.
nothing
It's
coming out.
December. The back end of December, I feel, is still the one spot publishers trying to avoid the most. It's still, as you said, one of the last dead zones.
Yeah,
But-
like Final Fantasy 15 and like The Last Guardian.
Yeah,
Big
Kyle.
dead month. Big dead month.
Those are at the beginning of the month. I said the end of the month.
Okay, all
Like,
right.
towards the end when people like
After Christmas.
Anyway, the point about the time of release is still important in regards to making sure you're not oversaturating a single week or a single month, which has kind of happened this year. So we're seeing a new problem of too many releases in a short time frame, and I think that is the next problem that publishers need to figure out, is how to space out their releases even when it's due to a delay. Not being so quick to just jump like, we gotta get it out right away, because the result is what happened this year. I mean, it's fantastic, all these great games are coming out, but they definitely could be spread out a little bit more.
Well, Titanfall 2 is
we
ridiculous.
certainly don't want that in Battlefield again.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is I think that the type of game goes into the saturation as well, because like Dying Light not coming out in Halloween probably did a service, because it's not competing with a million other horror games. Whereas like right now we've got a lot of RPGs and kind of similar vein games coming out right now that's just so intense. Mass Effect, Zelda, Persona 5.
Horizon and Zelda coming out so close. I mean, I guess it's also now more than probably before, the fiscal year stuff, especially ending at the end of March now. Like, people try and get everything out before April now, if it was supposed to come out in that year. And I feel that's why Q1's getting so crowded more and more each year. It's because it's like that's the last quarter to get your game out to make the fiscal year report. And I feel maybe Horizon and Zelda were both kind of victims to that. One or the other probably could have been pushed back a month or two, but it would have benefited us as consumers. But to the companies, the investors would have been like, why'd that slip out of this fiscal year? Oh, that's going to hurt your bottom line. So I think
I actually want to take something back. I was mocking December for, being empty when there were two big, huge releases. Those two huge releases releasing in December was their last resort. They didn't want to be December, but they needed a delay, and December was as late as they could go, I think.
Yeah, different companies do different fiscal years. Theirs ends December, but most of them, I think, end of March is like the end of their fiscal year.
I mean, it's hard to say the deluge of great games that we're having right now is a trend. It might just be something that happens once in our lifetime. For me, it's hard to call it a trend. We'll see. We'll see if this continues. But yeah, there's a lot of good games in this quarter. Okay, next question from Professor Metal Gear. If you had to choose between
peanuts,
what were they? Sesame peanuts,
black sesame peanuts.
Very good. If you had to choose between the Triforce of Power, the Triforce of Wisdom, or the Triforce of Courage, which would you pick and why?
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm kind of curious. Picking in the lore of the series, none of them really actually make you better at those elements.
True. Yeah.
The lore is whatever most reflected in your heart. If you favor wisdom, power, or courage more, is the piece you will get. It doesn't amplify your ability, but it can. Okay. But it can amplify your overall like powers.
Yeah. All right. Here's the thing. I'm going to flip the question then, Damiani. It is your responsibility to tell everyone here which Triforce they would get.
Okay.
All right.
Huber would be. Oh man, between power and courage there, man. No, I give Huber courage. I give Brad power.
Okay.
Brad power. Blood wisdom. Mm-hmm. I would give Jones courage. I would give Ian. Oh man, Ian. Oh man. I give you all three, Ian. I give you the
whole Triforce. You can't do that.
It's the whole Triforce.
Ian gets the Triforce.
The hero of the Allies.
Ian's going to the Holy Land.
Kyle, I would totally give you power, but I would also give you wisdom. And who else have I forgotten here?
Dawn and yourself.
Oh, Dawn. Dawn, I would totally give. Oh man, I would give Dawn courage. Definitely courage.
Okay.
And evil version, I'd give me power, but.
So you're saying if you got power, you're evil?
No, you're not. None of the three are benign. Triforce does not do that. Triforce is not inherently good or bad. It's what you do with it. Just Ganon always gets power, and he's always bad, so it's always associated with bad. So it'd be nice if you made a Nintendo make a Zelda game where power isn't held by someone who's a bad guy. Flip the script.
Nice.
But anyway, that's what I would give all of you. Not a lot of powers. I was leaning towards like power as a joke, but I would probably give myself. I don't know. I don't know if I get any of them. I might not be worthy of any part of the Triforce.
You're worthy, Damiani.
So I don't get anything.
You're worthy, dude.
No Triforce piece for me.
We'll give you wisdom, Damiani.
I'll take Salsa Verde.
Salsa Verde, yeah.
Salsa Verde.
Greetings to the 9. We are at the 1-year anniversary of Easy Allies, and there's been a lot of great Twitch streams. For each member of the panel, what is your favorite stream or stream series that you did? Note, group streams, press conferences, and E3 streams are not eligible.
Ooh,
Love
yes, I like that.
The Dark Knight 774. Yeah, that's a good twist.
Nice.
Favorite stream, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you slight Ben? Did you give Ben a Triforce?
Oh, geez, thank you. I was like, I know I'm forgetting so because I count. I'm like 8. Thank you. Ben totally gets wisdom.
Yeah.
So favorite stream?
Mm-hmm.
I'm eternally grateful for Bloodworth playing Earthbound that I got to experience that this year. That was great.
Has to be your own stream, Jones.
Damn.
Don't say Bloodworth stream from my own stream. That you did. It has to be stream or
Reddit probably.
Yeah, there you go. Those are good streams, Jones.
Yeah.
Do the group streams count or no?
Nope.
No,
Can't
not
do
eligible.
streams.
Oh, because I was going to say Pokemon Snap.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Resident Evil 7 for me.
Oh, that was so good, dude. That was so good.
Watching the 358 over 2 days movie with chat, where I just drank beer the whole time and made fun of the whole movie. That was my favorite.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jones said it. I mean, Earthbound is definitely a highlight. That game was so surprisingly good and weird.
Streaming making my RPG was really fun.
Yeah.
I liked doing that. I want to do the thing that Jones did. I want to stream editing sometime too.
That'd be cool. Ian, people would love it.
Oh, it'd be fun. Oh yeah, me and Omar playing Oblivion was really fun too.
Mm.
That was really fun.
Oh, yeah, another one was my one. I think my only sneaky stream so far. That Pirate Pop Plus.
That was a good sneaky stream.
Just to pop that on there and just start playing that without just because I was kind of addicted to it.
I gotta stream more.
I'm definitely just going to say Bosman v. Wozniak. I considered the others, but that as a series has been so fun for me in that it's evolved into something truly weird when that was not at all the intention from the beginning. And it's become this whole other thing. It's evolved through time because of the response, because you're getting constant feedback at all times. And so definitely that.
I always look forward to playing 14 with everybody who plays that with me. There's gonna be times, but I feel that's a cop-out answer, so I'm gonna give you 2.
Okay.
It's a tie. It's a tie between the past stream with Kyle, because as much as he disagreed with anything, it was a complete joy to force him to sit down and watch the entirety of the game be played and honor the bet. And 2, Mr. Bradley Ellis sitting there playing Kingdom Hearts together.
Oh, where we were also complaining about
memories. In memories.
How much I hate it. Yeah. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Good stuff.
Brad, did you do one?
Yeah, it was when I watched the Kingdom Hearts movie.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. Brad, that's your favorite streaming moment, though, is watching a movie with everybody?
Or that or playing Overwatch with viewers was really fun, too.
Oh, yeah. That's how you kicked it all off with Overwatch.
Yep.
Cool. Our next question comes to us from Joseph Caruso. Hey, allies. I know some of you have made the upgrade to 4K TVs to get the most out of your PlayStation 4 Pros, and I was wondering if you could talk about the noticeable benefits of such technology. I finally got to experience HDR gaming on a supposedly top-tier OLED 4K TV, and while I liked what I saw, similar to my experience of going from HD to 4K, I honestly couldn't tell you the visual upgrade of HDR, if that was a placebo effect or not. I tried running last year's Doom from my PC to my fancy new TV in 1080p, and it looked better than anything I saw in 4K and HDR. For those that have seen the technology in person, do you think it's mostly marketing, or is there a discernible visual upgrade?
With 4K, yeah, you can totally tell 4K from 1080. No question about that.
He's talking mostly about the HDR, though.
I think you're on 4K rep in the room right now, right?
No, Huber has one. Right?
No, Huber doesn't have one. Oh, yeah, only I have one. Yeah. I haven't played a lot of the games that use HDR. Like, you have to play a game that specifically is designed for, like, Uncharted. They put that in Horizon. Yeah. But I haven't gotten to play Horizon yet, and I haven't gone back to Uncharted since they added it in. So I haven't really gotten to, in a gaming sense, look at 4K like HDR. Mm-hmm.
I watched Uncharted at E3. I stood behind a 4K TV while someone was playing it. And definitely you could see in the shadows, you could see the details still, and you could see the stuff that would have been blown out, like outside. So like he went into a building, you could see everything in the building, and you could see everything outside. But like, yeah, I mean, it's that's how it's supposed to work. It exposes for the darks and the brights.
For me, when it's that kind of thing, I know that I cannot say why it's better, but I just appreciate knowing it is better. Someday I will want a 4K TV and with HDR. To know that what I'm looking at right now is the best version of this.
It'll just be standard down the line anyway. So
yeah,
this is the year, Kyle.
This is the year.
This is the year, because now we're getting games that are HDR. Like Horizon to me is the first real HDR game, straight up.
Whoa!
So it begins with Horizon.
I told someone who asked me. I said I'm going to wait until Huber buys his to buy my 4K.
Black Friday. This is the year.
Okay, all right. I know when Huber buys his, it's the right time.
This is the year. It is time.
Our next question comes to us from Robert 7 Lee. Good day, allies. In June 2012, I was once again ready to watch the E3 stream, even booking 2 days off work so I wouldn't miss anything. Around the same time, I was also playing Metal Gear Solid 2 HD, and the VR missions were kicking my butt. At the time, nothing else in life mattered. In my mind, I had to overcome these challenges at all costs. I had all the E3 streams playing in the background, but didn't take notice of anything, of any of it, including the Last of Us gameplay reveal, a game I was looking forward to. When was the last time you were so engulfed in a game where nothing else mattered, even resulting in either missing sleep or even school, work, or events you had planned? Thank you for an exceptional and entertaining musical concert.
Zelda. Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
I canceled all plans. I don't care about hanging out with anyone. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I can relate to that.
The thing that happens for me is like, I'll still do all the things I'm supposed to do, but I'm thinking about that game, So it makes me impatient for those things to be done. Mm-hmm. Or, so I'm not present for those things because I'm thinking about Bloodborne or Breath of the Wild or whatever. That happens to me a lot.
Man. But like a lot of games that I play that I'm like, I need to set up time to play this. I'm usually reviewing it. So whereas like, I'm sure Horizon probably would have been something like that. GTA 5 would have been something like that. When Red Dead came out, man, I was like a dog eating food that'll growl when you like reach the bowl. Like I was so protective of my time to play that game. And like, I remember like looking at the clock and seeing I only had 30 minutes left and being like crying, like, oh, that game.
I do feel like, in those times when I don't think you missed out anything like with E3, enjoy the game that you want to enjoy. But there's been times where a game has like ruined my life where it's like, oh, I'm missing doing actual things because I like this game so much. At that point, I gotta like stop. I gotta say like, okay, enough game. And with Zelda recently, it was at a point where I needed to finish it just to do things again, to like live a normal life. My house was a mess. I was not leaving. I was not shaving. I was a mess, true mess, because of how much I enjoyed that game. So I definitely have the capacity to do that. But yeah, at some point I got to draw a line. We all good?
Yeah.
Okay. Damiani, tell me about how Final Fantasy XIV has ruined your life.
Has it?
I don't know. Do you keep control? Was there ever a thing you missed because you had to do something in 14?
No, I mean, I was pretty good about like making sure to go to like stuff and like events and family stuff like that. But I think the only thing maybe when it was first out, like its first year, Like the first year was maybe I used to stay like later at work, like several hours. I'd stay till like maybe 8, 9 at GT, and it would be like 7:30 is like, all right, I'm going home. Like I'm gonna go play some other stuff. Like I used to stay at GT longer just to like hang out there and stuff, and I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna go home now. Maybe go play some 14. Gonna hop and mumble and talk with some people. I will say I can't talk about WoW stuff because I didn't really play WoW. I don't know the stories of like addiction and stuff like that. If it was people because they would like it was the game. For 14, it was mostly the social aspect of that game, like just going to talk with people and interacting with people in different groups of people. That is still to this day that game's biggest draw. I think it's such an easy game to play, but I would argue that don't miss important stuff in life for any game. Mm-hmm. But if someone tries to tell you like, hey, you're spending all your time just playing 14 or something, if you're doing it for the social aspect, I feel that's fine. Like you're interacting with other people, maybe not in person, which should maybe make sure you get out and interact with people in person so you don't lose those people skills in person. But it does. I do see people get like a little like flustered when they're say like, hey, you're not being social and stuff, and it's like I'm with like 50 people in a voice chat channel right now, and we are talking about video games and all sorts of weird crazy stuff, and like otherwise I would just be sitting on Netflix watching it by myself. Like I'm just here watching Netflix at night after a long day, just chilling. This is real social right now, just watching this TV show, but that's cool. I'm gonna go to bed.
Social stuff sucks. No, social stuff sucks.
No, but I do have 2 real games actually.
Here we go.
So it would be probably Metroid. It was during college, so it'd be Metroid Prime.
Yes.
And it would be the Wind Waker. Mm-hmm. I like for both those games for the first week they were out. I like didn't go to any classes and stuff for those games. Just missed class. I was like, bye. Oh, no. It's worth it. I was lucky to have any exams or anything that week, but I was like, so long, class. Not going to class this week. Metroid Prime, baby. Mm-hmm. Especially after I got into, I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm going to class today. Like, goodbye. Like, we're ready to keep going. We're in Fajana Drifts now. No, I can't leave. This is too good. Oh, rip. Ridley just flew across. Yeah, no, I'm close to fighting Ridley or something. It's like, no, you're not. But nice excuse. And the Wind Waker, it's like, just gonna sail over this one more island. There's one more dungeon over here. Just gonna do it. Oh, you give me another objective. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. I can't stop.
Both of those are great worlds. They're just good places to be in.
Yeah.
To answer that 4K VR, yeah, 8K VR. Put me in either of those worlds.
8K VR, Metroid Prime, baby. E3 this year, happening.
Okay, so it is now 1:55 p.m. We're supposed to end at 2, but I think we had kind of a loose start. What do you say we answer 4 more questions?
Okay.
And
I have a hard out at like 2.
Okay, we'll do them fast.
Yeah, let's do 4 lightning round.
All right, we'll do 5 lightning round then. 5 more lightning rounds.
I don't believe in us, but let's try.
Actually, this one's pretty easy. This is going to be fast. Okay, Simon Wallace asks, hey guys, thanks so much for all the fantastic work you all do. This is essentially a question for Ian and Brandon. What are the chances of Sophie and Bender crossover meetup? Would they get along, or would there be canine warfare?
I think they would get along. Brandon, I don't know if you had your headphones off. They're asking if Bender and Sophie met, if they would get along. So Bender's Omar's dog, but I think that they would be fine.
Sophie would boss Bender around because Sophie is a prima donna.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bender would just be very enthusiastic because he grew up with small dogs and he thinks he's a small dog. So
Sophie would be like, look, Bender, look, you need to calm down.
It'd be very energetic.
But over time, that initial interaction, though, Sophie would be edgy. She'd be edgelord.
Our next question is a great setup for a plug, so I'm excited about this. Hi, allies. I recently platinumed Final Fantasy 15, which got me to rewatch the Game Trailer's Final Fantasy retrospective, and I'm now thinking ahead about the upcoming Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Any hopes and dreams for what it could be? Thanks so much, Jordan.
Good.
Donnie, are you allowed to plug something here?
Oh yeah, I talked about it on the stream yesterday. We gotta talk about internally before we make any final stuff. But we are gonna be doing a panel at FanimyCon in May on I think May 26th or 27th, the Saturday we're going to be doing a panel called Final Fantasy VII Hopes and Fears. It's not just hopes and dreams, hopes and fears. We're going to talk about what we're excited for and what we think could go absolutely wrong with it. We're still deciding who's going and specifics about that. So, but I wanted to let you know that that's coming.
Please be
Is
excited.
that something is that a video we can put up on our site later on?
Oh, we at the very least, we will record the audio and put it up as like an audio podcast, but we will try to record it.
Cool.
Yeah, at the very least, you'll get something from it.
Since we're in lightning round, just give me a tease. Give me a tease for a hope and a tease of what a nightmare would be.
From just me or everyone?
Just from you.
Oh,
And
hope.
Brad.
It's completely like they do something completely different, and it's equally amazing. Fear, a lot of the stuff they doesn't translate well into the new art style, and it's a complete disaster. And people try and say, "Hey, you have the old game," but it just tarnishes the whole legacy of it.
Brad, give me a hope and fear.
Hope that they try new things, definitely. Fear, they worry too much about what the original game was and try to copy it too much.
Cool. Hello, you magnificent beasts. This is we have 3 more. Here we go. Serious question. Is 2017 going to be one of the top 5 gaming years of all time? Don't forget the 2 console launches, potential maturation of VR, and any E3 or other surprises. Sincerely, V8 Dave. I'm going to go with Jones on this. A solid, easy yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even I think so.
Yeah.
Yakuza 0.
It's the best year of video games since I started covering video games, for sure. So of the last 5 years, yes.
And when they shadow drop Bloodborne 2, I'm just going to have an aneurysm.
Yeah. Shadow drop it. So we're all yes? Is there any no? Can I get a no?
No, you
I'm
cannot.
not gonna know.
Wow. Okay. Lightning round. There we go.
No
Okay.
on the
Next, next question from Raymond Chow. Which ally smells the best?
Dawn?
Dawn.
Probably Dawn.
I think
I'll
it's
give it to
Dawn.
Don.
It's Dawn.
It's Don. Don's
Dawn.
across the board. Wait, I didn't hear
Dawn.
Blood. Blood, are you willing to give it up to Don?
I'll give it to Don.
Okay. And then finally, our final question. I might do one more after this. We're killing it, the lightning round. Hi, allies. I'll just say who this is from. This is from Alex Castellanos. Okay, each of you have to pick a member of the Justice League to become. Everyone needs to pick someone different. Here are your 9 choices. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, and Hawkman.
I'll take the Flash.
Wonder Woman.
Martian Manhunter.
Ooh,
You
nice.
can have Batman.
That's
I'll
right.
take Aquaman, dude. Swimming in that ocean.
Did you say Jones is Superman?
No, Jones can have Batman because
Okay,
obviously.
Yeah, it's like that ain't right.
We'd all want to be Batman, but
I'll take Aquaman.
Okay, so I think I'm going to get Green Lantern.
that fits.
Yeah, he's kind of lame. His power is creativity, though, which I always really respected.
You're afraid of the color
And
yellow.
Will.
So is Ben Superman?
It's done between Ben and Don, Superman and Hawkman.
Oh, Dawn is Superman.
Dawn is Superman. Dawn is Superman.
Yeah,
question.
sorry, Ben. You got
Amazing.
Hawkman.
Leftovers.
All right.
Poor Ben.
Snooze, you lose.
Next meetup, we're gonna have people sniffing around.
Yeah.
Oh,
They would honestly, like, we've known each other for too long. We're accustomed to each other's scents.
Yeah.
It would take an outside party to say which ally smells the best.
I just imagine every time we have a guest coming into a group stream in the garage, like, oh, that ally funk. That we have no idea what that smells like. We just don't know.
I'm positive you can
You think you might want to be in that room, but maybe you don't.
All right, we're in extra innings. Here we go. Hey, allies. Do any of your friends play the same games as you in a different way? For example, I have a close friend who plays through Breath of the Wild by economizing Talus respawns every blood moon. That's some spoiler that I don't even know.
what the
Systematically
hell's that?
marking them on his own map and then farms them for rupees. Me, I just play through the game and find my rupee opportunities as they come and never found myself wanting for rupees. Totally different means of to the same end, which speaks towards how people have fun in games: exploration, completion, combat, immersion, etc. Do you have any similar quirks amongst the allies or elsewhere The more befuddled you are, the better. Love
Yeah,
and respect.
I have one that really annoys me, so I can end on that, and then I gotta go.
All right.
My friend Alex plays MLB The Show religiously. He's played like most of them, and I play him. And I always go through the season, or I create a character and go through the story and like level up and do all that. He only plays exhibition games one-on-one to try to get like a perfect game, and that's it. So he's put like hundreds of hours into MLB The Show and has never done the season or created a character. And I'm always just like, dude, with the amount of time you've put in, you could have like so many World Series wins, like legacy characters. Like they have the road to the show where you like earn currency to like buy packs.
And he only plays single game at a time.
Yes. And it's so ironic. It's ironic too, because his side job is that he gets autographs. He's like really big into collecting real life cards and going and like keeping them usually. I mean, he sells some, but
it's not a side job if you just keep them.
He makes it. He does sell. Okay, but he mostly keeps them for him.
Cool.
So it's funny that there's this entire mode about like collecting cards, and he's like never even touched it.
Doesn't care. That's so interesting. That's a really good answer to that question.
All right, everyone. Love and respect.
Bye. Hubert, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually wrap up the stream too, but how about one more answer to this question?
The easy one for me is like just general play style. Like Hubert loves being slow and heavy, and I love being fast and dodging a lot.
Oh my God. The clip of Huber and Jones playing Ghost Recon together. That's such a good example of different play styles. Yes.
Yeah. Huber just runs in.
With the big fan or something? What was that, Jones?
Yeah, with the pickup truck, he just and it was like a staircase too. And like and the funny thing was, it wasn't him being like, "Here we go." He was just driving, like, you know, like he thought that staircase was the road. He saw steps and was like, "Here we go." You know,
he's like, "Man, these graphics are really stair-steppy."
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you so much for your questions. Those are posted once a month, a post by Ben Moore onto our website. 2, if you're watching the archive of this, the people who are in the $20 and up per month tier on patreon.com/easyallies. We take them in the order we receive them, and so I'm sorry that we did not get to all of them. We got to a lot today, though, actually. We did pretty well, everybody. Good work, team. Anything else we want to say before we head off?
We love you.
Yeah.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent to each other. Thank you to our live viewers. Thank you to our eventual viewers. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Jones is moving lightning with the what? Okay. Jones, say something so she'll go full screen.
He's muted though.
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, we see
hear
in the corner.
Headphones on.
Can't hear us. All right, everybody, I'm signing off now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great month.